everybody to the Single and Stiletto Show. I'm Suzanne Oshima, and I'm a matchmaker and dating coach at Dream Bachelor and Bachelorette, and I'm also the founder of Single and Stilettos. Today we have on our show Dr. Diana Kirshner, and she is the best-selling author and CEO of lovin90days.com, and I'm so excited to have her here today because she's an amazing guest. And today we're talking about how to go from casual to committed. And I know, ladies, you're dying to know what she has to tell us today. But before we jump into it, Dr. Diana, can you tell our audience a little bit about you?
Well, yes. Hi, I'm so happy to be with you, Suzanne. You are gorgeous.
Aw, thank you.
I have studied love all my life. I've studied it. I have a PhD in psychology. I've studied all the research and, really developed a whole set of guidelines for how to create love that is not just ordinary love, but really fantastic love, the love that is surprisingly great for yourself. I've been able to help tens of thousands of women all over the world to really advance in their love journey. I'm very blessed.
Awesome. Well, now let's jump into this because I know, I think this is one of the biggest complaints I get is a lot of women don't know how to go from the casual dating to the committed relationship. So can you give the ladies some good tips on how to do this without trying to manipulate a man?
No, it's not about manipulating. And this is as I used to say, the $64,000 question.
Yeah, it basically is.
The number one, I talk about the quote unquote real laws of attraction. Mm-hmm. Now, the real laws of attraction have to do with just the research on what makes somebody commit, what makes somebody have a happy, healthy relationship. The number one real law of attraction is to continue having fun. That is number one. How do you fall in love with somebody? You fall in love in the beginning because you're fooling around, you're dunking each other in the pool, you're screaming and, on a roller coaster, you're at the beach, you're having so much fun. Then what happens is it gets serious and you get anxious and you get nervous and you don't know what's happening. You're not sure what's happening. You're in that gray area. What the heck is happening? And I really like this guy and blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, if you get physical, then it's really it's serious. You're wondering. At least for you, it's serious. You don't know for him. So the thing is to continue having fun. I can't tell you how many people we've helped in our love mentoring program to actually get the relationship they want, get engaged, move in with the guy. And it's about counseling them to continue having fun, period, end of story. And to have fun once you do have a sexual relationship inside the bedroom and outside the bedroom, once you do start that. And make each encounter a date, a real date. Now, when I say have fun, I mean for you to have fun, for real. It's not about making the guy have fun. That is not it. No, it's not about dragging yourself to the baseball game that you hate to sit through for agonizing hours because you're bored to death. No. Unless you like baseball. Now, if you love baseball, that's a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. But I want you radiantly happy and having the best time, laughing, giggling, cracking up, in the bedroom, having an amazing time. I mean, having more pleasure than you ever had in your life. That is the number one law of attraction because men live, and I'm not exaggerating this, men live to make women happy. They live for that.
Well, and this is what I will add too, because I know this to the ladies out there. I know this sounds like it's something so simple, and you're probably going, that's what she's telling us, how to go from casual to committed. But this is what I will tell you that you don't realize, ladies, is that when, like Dr. Diana was talking about, being fun and happy every time you see him, is that you don't realize that people want to be around somebody that is fun and happy. You're naturally attracted to someone that is fun and happy. And think about that, because where have you been out when you see a person that's really fun and happy and you're kind of drawn to them? You want to be around them. It's the same thing in dating and relationships, what Dr. Diana is talking about. And men want that in a woman. I mean, obviously you can't fake it, but if you are that way, you need to be that way on a date and have it extend over into months of dating, because you can be that way on the first couple dates, but sometimes people can't sustain it, into a couple months.
That's the real issue. I mean, it's obvious to say that theoretically, but when you're in a relationship and you start having fun, but then when that anxious, great time comes where you don't know what's going on, you can stop having fun.
Right.
You can stop having fun, and then you're trying to make him happy, or you're trying to manipulate, or you're distant because he hasn't come through with some commitment, and you're kind of resentful, and then you might throw a little hissy fit, or you might get into the diva action. And really the whole drama thing is really ultimately a turn off. It's ultimately a turn off for men and anybody else, really. So the question is, what's authentically going to make you happy? And even if you're going to something that may not be making you happy, because you're not going to always be organizing everything to make yourself happy.
Right.
Make sure you're making yourself happy within that. So if you are going to the ball game, make sure you have your, something on your Kindle or something that you enjoy, or, listening to some music that sends you and really is fun. If you're in the bedroom, do things that pleasure yourself and guide the man to give you a great experience, to tell him what you'd love him to do, not in a critiquey way, but, gee, I'd really love it if you tickle me with this little soft feather and, just keep going down.
Right. Now, these have been some great tips, but what are some other tips in helping her go from casual to committed and really making it so that he says to her, I only want to date you and I don't want you to date anyone else? Because that's not the only thing that's going to do it, right?
No. Well, first of all, I just want to say that men, if you ask men why they married someone, they'll say, because I feel good around her. They say that. They literally say that because the having fun thing is happening and the happiness thing is happening. They're feeling good.
Right.
The thing number one tip to remember is that to have a commitment, it can sometimes take a couple of years. Right. And to have patience. To really have patience. There's a woman who just had a darling little baby who's in our love mentoring program, and she was so impatient. She met this great guy, and she was nervous and impatient, and her biological clock was ticking, and he's not saying anything, and it was a year, and blah, and so it was very important for her to have patience. Have patience, right? Now, at a certain point, there may be a time where it comes to you intuitively that it may be a time that you have to be willing to walk. That's the other thing, is that you may have to be willing to walk, to leave. Right? After you've had patience, there's kind of like a lifeline in this. After you've had patience and you've given the guy a chance and you're having lots of fun and you're having a great sexual relationship, you're having a great time outside the bedroom, and it's been a little too long for you, you then have to be willing to walk and mean it. It's not like you're dramatically telling the person, I'm going to leave him, blah, 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 but you don't mean anything, right?
Right.
But it's actually a willingness to walk for real.
So I want to ask you, because I always try to think like my audience and what their next question in their head is you talked about having patience, but there could be a time when she needs to walk. Every woman in my audience is going, well, how long should she wait? So tell Dr. Diana, tell our audience how long that time should be. And what I always tell people, it really depends on your interactions. But what are your thoughts on that?
Well, it depends on your interactions. You want to see that there is consistent improvement in the relationship. In other words, there's a feeling of greater closeness. There's more loving between the two of you. The guy is sharing his life with you. He's sharing his apartment with you. He's sharing his family with you. He's sharing his friends with you. And there's a general trend of growing closer. That's very, very important. And the other variable is age. Age.
Okay.
Obviously, if you're younger, you could give it a couple of years, 3 years, whatever it is, and you're learning a lot in the relationship. You're younger. You're learning what you want, what you don't want, and then it may be time to say this is it. Either do it or get off the pot. And then as you get older, of course, as you're pushing up against the biological clock, things are more pressured, right?
Right.
So it may be that you're only giving it a year.
Right. So it really depends on the situation you're in, and if you see that it's growing or it's too stagnant, it really depends on those things on what and the relationship you have between you and the man that you're in a relationship with. One question I want to ask, because I've heard this a lot from a man's point of view, and I want to get your take on this. Is it a big mistake? Let's just say she's been in a relationship with him for a while, and is it a bad idea to give a man an ultimatum like, you need to marry me or I'm going to walk? Is it a bad idea?
What I talk about, and I did write a book that's all around this, that's called Sealing the Deal. Sealing the Deal, The Love Mentor's Guide to Lasting Love. So if anybody is right at that point, must get a hold of that book.
Okay.
What you do is you make a decision that is a love intention for yourself. Love intention for yourself. So you say, I am giving myself a lasting, true love relationship that's filled with passion, joy, and children, or service to mankind. I don't know what it is, but it's your dream for yourself. And you make a decision that that's your love intention, that you're going to give that to yourself. You're going to give it to yourself. Now, what you do is, if you reach that point where things have stagnated, or it's been too long in terms of your personal life cycle, your own life, and you have to actually push it either one way or the other. You really do. You're going to go to the guy. The best thing is to go to the guy and say, this is what I'm creating for myself. I'm creating an amazing life that is filled with joy and travel and kids and laughter, and it's going to be incredible, an extraordinary relationship. And I would love to do that with you, Joe. I would love to do that with you, Joe.
And then see what he says?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he says, but if you cannot do that, I'm going to create that with someone else.
Yeah, I've heard that from other relationship experts, that that's the way to do it, because you're not like, you're basically letting him make the choice of, does he want to be that person with you? And I think that's,
you're extending a beautiful invitation to a future that is extraordinary, just wonderful. You're really giving him first crack at it, and you're very clear about your intention. You're very clear about what you want to create and your vision, and you're inviting him to come along. But you mean it when you say, if it's not you, I will do it with someone else. Now, that kind of decision, remember, when you make a decision, there's that saying that when you make a decision, the universe moves with you. And I'm talking about a commitment to yourself. In other words, no one will commit to you unless you commit to you loving yourself. It's a commitment to yourself. This is what I'm doing. The universe moves with you. You are now pulling out every possibility that man could rise to the occasion, get over his fear, get over whatever negative conditioning he's had about making a commitment, about having a family, whatever it is, and rise to come through for you. And if it's meant to be, they will rise. They do rise.
Exactly.
You make that commitment to yourself, but you have to make it to yourself.
Exactly. Well, these have been some great tips. So, Dr. Diana, please tell our audience how they can find you.
Well, welcome everyone to come to lovein90days.com, and I have a really wonderful thing there for you. You can have an actual session with one of my hand-picked amazing love mentors. These guys I have a team of coaches. They're love mentor coaches. They work by phone and Skype with people all over the world, and if you're dealing with a commitment issue or any question with love, they can really help you. You know, we had one woman take a free session for 40-minute free session, and she got off the phone. She knew how to have that talk with her boyfriend, and they immediately became engaged after her free session. And I invite all of you to take advantage of that and just go to lovein90days.com and click on the coaching tab where it says coaching. But make sure you say Single in Stiletto sent you on the little form, because sometimes we get inundated with a lot of requests. And if you say Single in Stilettos, I will be able to set you up with your session.
So, ladies, go take advantage of that free session from Dr. Diana. So, thanks everybody for joining us on the Single in Stiletto show. Our show is available both in video format and podcast format. If you'd like to view the videos, you can go to singleinstilettos.com. And if you'd like to get the podcast, you can download it from iTunes. If you'd like to get our free report on the top 10 secrets on what attracts a man and what turns him off, you can click right here on the video, or you can go to singleinstilettos.com.